What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, we're coming back to the Rock Orchestra. Yes, indeed, the Rock Orchestra fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bibbity bot, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Declane, and this is actually Declane's prioritized request for the month of October for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Declane. Hope you enjoy the show. Declane wanted to see me react to this. It is the Rock Orchestra featuring Erin Fox doing a cover of the Evanescence hit song, Bring Me to Life. Now, have I heard the original song before? Full disclosure, yes. Yes, I have. There is some debate as to what the biggest hit Evanescence has ever had, and oddly enough, both songs come off the exact same album. Some people think Bring Me to Life is the biggest hit that Evanescence has ever had, and some people think My Immortal is the biggest hit that Evanescence has ever had. That's open for debate, and I'm not about to get in the middle of that. I think it's just fine that both songs came off the exact same album. I am very familiar with this song. There was a period of time where you could not escape this song. This was like the new Enter Sandman. It didn't matter what radio station you plugged into, rock radio, metal radio, top 40 radio, easy listening radio, you would find this song being played in rotation. I think this song has been overplayed, absolutely, but it hasn't been as overplayed as Enter Sandman has. I'm not sick of this song. I've heard it many times. I'm very familiar with it. There are no surprises here, but and I'm, you know, it's been a little overplayed, if I'm being honest, but not to the extent of Enter Sandman. So I'm okay with this song. I'm not thrilled with this song, the original, anymore. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, this is really cool. I'm digging on this. But after hearing it 500 times, it starts to lose its shine. You know what I'm saying? Not to the extent of Enter Sandman, but it definitely has lost a little bit of its shine on me. Now, having said that, I've never heard this cover before. The Rock Orchestra has had a pretty good track record with me on this channel, so hopefully that continues. But I just want to be very clear, full transparency, not trying to hide anything, not trying to fool anybody. I will not be reacting to the original song itself in any way, shape, or form. I will be basing my reaction, my evaluation, and my score completely on the cover that the Rock Orchestra does with the song. I'm sure they're going to take it in their own little direction. I'm sure they're going to put their own little spin on it. I just hope they don't take it so far out into left field that I don't recognize it. Because not with the Rock Orchestra, but there have been covers I've heard that have done that. And one of the biggest things about doing a cover is you have got to make it recognizable. And when you take it so far out into left field that you have no idea what you're listening to, it's never a good sign. So let's see what the Rock Orchestra is going to do with this. Let's see. This was posted by the Rock Orchestra. No surprise there. And the video has 1.7 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The Rock Orchestra, Bring Me to Life, Evanescence, featuring Erin Fox. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I love the usage of the contrabass. That was great. Unexpected. Didn't see it coming. I think that's why it had the effect on me. It made me laugh. I think it's because I didn't see that coming from a mile away. I absolutely did not. I like the instrumentation. I like the assignments within the instrumentation, the usage of the chimes. I've always been a big fan of chimes, especially in hard rock and metal music. I think, honestly, it's one of the most underrated instruments in rock and metal, and I really wish more bands would utilize them because they are very, very effective. They create a great atmosphere when it comes to rock and metal. The usage of the timpani with that roll in, really nice, right before the chorus. The strings and the glockenspiel. I like both being utilized together in unison in the verses. Very nicely done. I think she's doing a fine. I believe that's Erin Fox on the vocals there. I think she's doing a fine job. Got no issue with anything that she's singing. It sounds just fine. No, so far so good. I recognize the cover. I had to get past the first few measures, but once we got into the actual intro of the song, it became instantly recognizable. So they're paying homage to the original without question while putting their own signature spin on it. So they're doing exactly what I was hoping for. So that's awesome. Let's keep going here. That chime again, I love it. like that layout. They took all the instrumentation out and just let vocals fill the gap. I like that. That's a nice touch. Really nice touch. Right here thing? Yep. Great job. Ending going. Hey. Yep. Everything I heard made sense. Everything I heard sounded good. Everything I heard sounded like it belonged. And there were even a few surprises along the way. That is a sign of a musical group slash act slash artist that really understands how to take a cover and put their own spin on it and make it work. That was a fine job. Now, how is this going to translate to a score? That I'm not sure about. I got to think about that. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was the Rock Orchestra featuring Erin Fox with a cover of the Evanescence song, Bring Me to Life. This was a request from Declane, and this was actually Declane's prioritized request for the month of October for being a Silver Tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Declane. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, let's just get to the score. Let's get to the score, and I promise I will explain how I came up with the score, because it's going to require a little bit of explanation. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that cover an 8.2. Yep, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, an 8.2, what does that mean? Well, an 8.2 would translate to a great skill rating because overall, I think this was a great cover. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.2, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. This was a great cover. It absolutely was. It covered every single base I look for in a cover. It was recognizable. That's probably the biggest thing for me. I love it when bands take songs and they put their own spin on it. Absolutely. I will always prefer that over a carbon copy cover any day of the week. Absolutely. If I have my druthers, I would rather listen to songs or covers of songs that the artist took and made it their own, rather than a carbon copy cover. Nothing wrong with carbon copy covers, but if I'm going to listen to a carbon copy cover, I might as well just listen to the original. You know what I mean? Nothing against the band doing the cover, nothing against them whatsoever. They're paying homage, and I can absolutely appreciate it. But if you're going to play the song note for note, beat for beat, tone for tone, word for word, exactly like the original, I'll just listen to the original. Thanks anyway. That's why I love it when bands put their own spin on it. The problem with putting your own spin on it is sometimes bands get a little too creative. They get a little too big for their britches, and they take the song so far out into left field that you don't recognize it. Remind me one time, maybe I'll just do this on the channel for fun one time. I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. I'll find that White Wedding cover that I don't even remember the name of the group, but man, did they take the song and you didn't even recognize it. You'll listen to it and go, this is White Wedding from Billy Idol? Really? Where is it? Where's the chordal progression? You know, it is so far out there. I've got to find that cover. No, but that's not the case here. They absolutely did exactly what I was expecting. I've heard a couple of covers now. This is my third reaction to the Rock Orchestra, I believe. And each time they do, but well, maybe not the first time I had no idea going in what to expect. The second time I kind of had an idea. This time I knew exactly what to expect. I had a certain level of expectation, and we're gonna talk more about that word expectation in just a little bit. I had a feeling where they were gonna go with this. I had a feeling, and knowing the song as well as I do, I was thinking to myself, out of all the Evanescence songs they could pick, this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense. Either this or My Immortal, either one of them would work well with a classical orchestra, but I think this song for the Rock Orchestra makes perfect sense. And they did pretty much exactly what I was expecting them to do. There were a couple of surprises. There definitely was. I love the usage of the chime. I think the chime is probably one of the most underrated instruments in rock and metal, and I really wish more bands would. One of my favorite bands right here, King Diamond, he's notorious for putting chimes in his music. You can pretty much guarantee you're going to hear chimes on at least one song on every album that he puts out. I can't wait for the new album to come out. I really can. I really hope it's on the same level. It's on the same par as most of his other albums. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But I'm sure we're gonna hear chimes in there at least once. Lots of Iron Maiden used his chimes. What's the name of the song? Children of the Damned. They use chimes on that. Gosh, what's another song that they use? Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. They use them. The guy that Rush uses them. God, there's a lot of bands that use them, but there's a lot of bands that don't. And I was really glad to see that they did. It really added to the the level of sorrow. I mean, I've always felt like chimes really kind of give you that hollow feeling, that gaping feeling, and I absolutely love that. The usage of the string in the beginning, in the verse, usage of the strings along with the glockenspiel, I think that was very, very smart. Very complementary sounds to each other. Keeping everything kind of stripped down and then letting it have a chance to grow and grow and grow and grow. And when we hit the we hit the chorus, we hit the apex. And I was like, yes, smart way to go. I love coming out of the first chorus into that little one measure breakdown, giving it to the contrabass. I thought that was brilliant. I'm sorry. I know I'm biased, but let the contrabass have its chance to shine. I absolutely dug that. Coming out of the final chorus, they had that one section where all the instrumentation laid out for, I think it was about 2 measures, where it was vocals and vocals only. I thought that was really cool. It helped break up the monotony. It was unexpected. You didn't see it coming. So I thought that was really, really smart. Overall, great execution on the song. Everybody did a fine job with the parts that they had. Vocally, everything sounded just fine. The dual vocalist combination, just like the original. I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer the male performance on this compared to the male performance on the original recording. I'm gonna go there, absolutely. I think his delivery had more depth. I think it had more variety. I think his vocal performance connected more with the song. As far as female vocals, nothing against Erin Fox. I think she did a fine job. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna say I prefer Amy Lee's vocals on that. But Erin Fox did a great job. She absolutely did. She knocked it out of the park. So No, overall, this was a great cover. It was a great cover. It's not the best cover I've heard from them. This is where that word expectation is going to come into play. And I know people don't like to hear this, but this is a reality. When you listen to a certain number of songs from one particular group, you're going to start to get a certain level of expectation from that group. You're going to expect here or here or here. Or I'm sorry, but there are cases where it's, you expect it to be down here. Yeah. Oh God, here we go again. Type of thing. But that's all expectation. Whether it be good expectation or bad expectation, it's expectation. Okay. So when you hear a band for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th, 14th, 19th, 37th time, you're going to have a certain level of expectation. It's going to happen. We're all human, okay? So when I see that I'm going to be doing a cover to the Rock Orchestra, I'm going to expect a certain level of greatness. I'm going to expect it. And if I don't get it, I'm going to be very disappointed. If I get it, okay, great. We're hitting for par. That's awesome. And par, by their standards, is greatness. So when I say the Rock Orchestra did it again, they hit for par, guys, that's greatness. They hit for greatness. Anybody who could possibly complain about that is out of their minds. It's like saying, Love Bites. They hit for par. Well, they're hitting for par is up here above everybody else. Same thing can be said for Bandmate. I just had a whole bunch of controversy when I said Bandmate hit for par. Guys, Bandmate's par is not here. Bandmate's par is here. Everybody else, for the most part, down here. I don't understand why people got so upset over that, but man, Bandmate fans got seriously butthurt over that. And I do not understand why, when hitting for par for Bandmate means greatness. Don't understand that. And the same thing can be said here. There's a number of bands. Nightwish, hitting for par means greatness. Same thing can be said with the Rock Orchestra. When they hit for par, they're hitting for greatness. If they give anything less than greatness, I'm going to be very disappointed. My opinion is going to be down here. So I really hope that's not the case. I hope we never get that. But as long as we keep hitting for par from the Rock Orchestra, that means we're getting greatness out of them. And
it doesn't get any better than this.
So, yeah, an 8.2 for this cover. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.2, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.